Hi guys, it's me, Cherise from Sher from 2000. Welcome back to another video. I am continuing by reading stories from my Walt Disney Storyline Collection book. I'm wearing green and I probably should have done this story like on Friday because Friday is St. Patrick's Day as the recording of this video, but I decided to do it today because I'm a little tired and this story is short, simple, and sweet. So today I will be reading Peter Pan and Dr. Kneale to Puss in the Lunatics. Kneale, this one's for you. So clap your hands as you believe as we fly off to Neverland. In a quiet street in London lived the Darling family. There were Father and Mother Darling, and Wendy, Michael, and John. There was also the children's nursemaid, Nana, a St. Bernard dog. For Nana and the children, the best hour of the day was bedtime, for then they were together in the nursery. There, Wendy told us wonderful stories about Peter Pan of Neverland. This Neverland was a magical spot with Indians and mermaids and fairies and wicked pirates too. John and Michael liked the best of it, which was the pirates. They had some fine slashing duels between Peter Pan and his arch enemy, the pirate Captain Hook. Father Darling did not like this kind of story or this kind of play. He blamed it on Wendy's stories of Peter Pan of Neverland, and he did not approve of those stories either. It's time you grew up, Wendy, Father Darling decided. This is your last night in the nursery, Wendy girl. All the children were much upset about that. Without Wendy in the nursery, there would be no more stories about Peter Pan. Then, to make matters worse, Father Darling became annoyed with Nana and decided the children were too old to be treated like puppies. So, he tied Nana to the garden for the night. When Mother and Father Darling had gone out for the evening, leaving the children snug in their beds with Nana on guard, who would come to the nursery but Peter Pan himself? It seemed he had been flying from Neverland to listen to the bedtime stories all unseen. Only Nana had caught sight of him once and nipped off his shadow as he escaped. So he came back hoping to look for his lost shadow and hoping for a story about himself. With him was the fairy named Tinkerbell. When Peter heard that Wendy was to be moved from the nursery, he hit up upon a plan. I'll take you to Neverland with me to tell the stories to my lost boys, he decided as Wendy sewed his shadow back on. Wendy thought of a lovely idea. Michael and John should go too. So Peter Pan taught them all how to fly, with happy thoughts and a little bit of faith, trust, and pixie dust. They headed out from the nursery and off to Neverland, while Nana barked frantically below. Back in Neverland on the pirate ship, Captain Hook, as usual, was grumbling about Peter Pan. You see, once in a fair long fight ago, Peter had cut off one of his hands, and then Peter Pan decided to throw it to the crocodile, Tick-Tock-Croc, who enjoyed the taste of the hook so much that he'd been lurking around ever since, hoping to nibble the rest of him. Fortunately for the pirate, the crocodile had also swallowed a clock. It went tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock when it came near, which gave him a warning to to Captain Hook. Now, as Captain Hook grumbled about his young enemy, there was a call from the crow's nest. Peter Pan, ahoy! What? Where? Shouted Captain Hook, twirling his spyglass around the sky. Swallow me eyes, it's Peter Pan! Hook gloated. Pipe up the crew, man the guns, at last we'll get that Peter Pan this time. Oh, Peter, it's just as I dreamed about it would be, Mommy the glue and all, Wendy was saying when the first of the pirates' cannonballs ripped through the cloud close beside their feet and went sizzling on past. Look out! Cried Peter. Tinkerbell, take Wendy and the boys to the island. I'll stay here and draw Hook's fire. Away Tinkerbell flew, as fast as she could go. In her naughty little heart, she hoped the children would fall behind and be lost, especially since she was very jealous of the Wendy girl, whom she sees that she won the heart of Peter Pan. Straight through Neverland, jungle flew Tink, down into a clearing beside an old dead tree called Hanged in a Tree. Very grueling. She landed on a toadstool, bounced to a shining leaf, and pop! A secret door opened for her in a knot of a hollow tree. Zip! Down a slippery tunnel Tink slid, She landed at the bottom of the underground room, the secret house of Peter Pan. Ding-a-ling! She tinkled, fluttering around about every corner of the room to the next. She was trying to awaken the sleeping lost boys, who all laid so many curled up balls of fur. At last, rather grumpily, they woke up and stretched their little fur suits. And they listened to Tinkerbell. Why? Pan wants us to shoot down a terrible Wendy bird. Lead us to it, they shouted, and they hurried. When Wendy and Michael and John appeared, flying warily, the Lost Boys tried to pelt them with stones and sticks, especially the Wendy bird. Down tumbled Wendy, all her happy thoughts destroyed, for without them no one could ever fly in Neverland. Hooray! Hooray! We caught the Wendy bird! We got her now! The Lost Boy shouted, but then Peter Pan arrived. Oh, how angry he was when he discovered that the Lost Boys had tried to shoot down Wendy, even though he had caught her before she could get hurt. I brought her to be a mother to us all and tell us stories. Come on, Wendy, said Peter. I'll show you to the mermaids. Boys, take Michael and John to hunt some Indians. Oh dear. This is very awkward. Yeah, the past was a mistake. So Peter Pan and Wendy flew away, and boys marched off through the forest, planning to capture some Indians. There were wild animals all around, but the boys never thought to be afraid, and not a creature harmed them. First, we'll surround the Indians, John decided. Then we'll take them by surprise. John's plan worked splendidly, but there was only one tiny problem. It was the Indians who used it. Disguised as moving trees, they quietly surrounded the boys and took them by surprise. Soon, bound with ropes, the row of the boys marched away, led by the Indians to the village of the chief. Don't worry, the Indians are our friends, the Lost Boys said, but the chief looked stern. Again, the past was a mistake. Meanwhile, on the other side of the island, Wendy and Peter Pan were watching the mermaids swim and play in their peaceful mermaid lagoon. As they were chattering together, Peter Pan said, "Hush!" A boat from the pirate ship was going by. In it, the wicked Captain Hook and Smee, the pirate cook. At the stern, all bound with ropes, sat Princess Tigerlily, daughter of the Indian chief. "We'll make her talk," sneered Captain Hook. "She'll tell us where Peter Pan lives, or we'll leave her tied up to the slippery Skull Rock, where the tide will wash her away." But the proud and loyal Princess Tigerlily would not say a single word. Peter Pan and Wendy flew to Skull Rock. Peter, intimidating Hook's voice, tried to trick Smee into setting Tigerlily free. That almost worked. But Hook discovered the trick and came after Peter with his sword. Then, what a thrilling duel they had, all over that rocky cave where Princess Tigerlily sat, with the tide up to her chin. Peter won the duel and rescued Tigerlily just in the nick of time. Then away he flew to the Indian village to send Princess home. When Peter Pan and Wendy brought Tigerlily home, the chief had set the captives all free. Then there was a wonderful feast, and all the boys did the Indian dances and learned the wild Indian chants, and Peter Pan was made a chief. Yeah, this was a very awkward scene in an animated movie. The past was a mistake. Only Wendy had no fun at all, for she was helping the squaws carry firewood. I had enough of this in Neverland, she thought grumpily. I'm ready to go home right now. While the Indian celebration was at its height, Smee, the pirate, crept through underbrush and captured Tinkerbell. Trapped in his cap, she struggled and kicked, but Smee took her back to the pirate ship and presented her to Captain Hook. "Ah, Miss Belle," said Hook sympathetically. "I've heard how badly Peter Pan had treated you since that scheming girl Wendy came. Oh, how nice it would be if we could kidnap her and take her off to the sea to scrub the decks and cook for us pirate crew." Tink tinkled happily at the thought. "But alas," Hook sighed, "we don't know how to get there, and we don't know where Peter Pan lives, so we cannot get rid of Wendy for you." Tink thought this over. "You won't hurt Peter Pan," she thought in a solemn, tinkling tones. Of course not, promised Hook. A mate's honor. Then she marched up to Captain Hook's map of the Neverland. Tinkerbell traced the path for Peter Pan's house. Thank you, my dear, said the wicked Captain Hook as he locked her up in a lantern cage while he went off to capture Peter Pan. That night, when Wendy tucked the children into their beds in the underground house, she talked to them about home and mother. Soon, they were all so homesick that they wanted to leave at once. Wendy invited all the Lost Boys to come and live with them. Only Peter Pan refused to go. He simply looked the other way as Wendy and the boys told him goodbye and climbed the tunnel up to the hangman's tree. Up in the woods near the hangman's tree waited Captain Hook and his pirate band. As each boy came out, a hand was clamped over their mouth as he was quickly tied up with ropes. Last of them came Wendy. Zip, zip! She too was bound up, and the crew marched off with their load of children back to the pirate ship. Blasted, muttered Captain Hook. We still haven't found Peter Pan. So, Captain Hook and Smee left a wicked bomb wrapped in a gift from Wendy for the poor Peter to find. Very soon, they hoped, Peter would open it up and blow himself straight out of Neverland. Imagine how terrible Tinkerbell felt when she saw all the children as prisoners. She knew that it was her fault. The boys were given a terrible choice between turning into pirates or walking to the plank. To the boys, the life of a pirate sounded fine, sad to say, and they were all ready to join up. But Wendy was shocked at that. I would never become a pirate, said Wendy. Very well, said Hook. Then you shall be the first to walk the plank, my dear. Everyone felt so terrible, though Wendy was ever so brave. Captain Hook and Smee did not notice Tinkerbell escaping as she flew off to warn Peter Pan, without a dreadful moment when Wendy said her goodbye to everyone on the ship and bravely walked out to the long, narrow plank that led to the churning sea, and then she disappeared. Everyone listened, breathless, waiting for the splash. But not a sight once came. What could have ever happened? Then they heard a familiar happy crow. It was Peter Pan, and ringing high above, warned by Tinkerbell, he had come just in time to scoop up Wendy in mid-air and fly her to safety. This time you have gone too far, Captain, Peter cried. He swooped down from the ringing, all set for a duel, and a duel it was. While they fought, Tinkerbell slashed through the ropes that bound the boys, and they forced the pirates to jump overboard and rowing away in their boat. Then Peter Pan knocked Captain Hook's sword overboard, and Hook jumped too. When the children last saw the wicked Captain Hook, he was swimming for the boat, with the crocodile tick-tocking hungrily behind him. Peter Pan commanded the pirate ship. Heave those highlands, up the jib, we're sailing off for London. Oh, Michael, oh, John, we're going home, cried Wendy. Sure enough, with happy thoughts, faith, trust, and a little bit of pixie dust, away that the pirate ship through the skies, till the gangplank was ran out to the Darlings' nursing home sill. By now, they all had arrived. The Lost Boys did not want to stay, so Wendy, John, and Michael waved goodbye to Peter Pan's ship as it sailed through the sky, taking the Lost Boys home to Neverland, where they still live today. And that was Peter Pan, and I hope you guys enjoyed that story. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also my second YouTube channel, SherYourCreations. I'll be back for some more stories, but until then, see you guys in the future.